You're listening to an African Elements top news story for June 28, 2025. Please visit our website at africanelements.org for more daily news. Job Corps' future, a judge's stand for youth. In a significant victory for young people across the nation, a federal judge has issued a preliminary injunction ordering that Job Corps centers must remain open. This crucial decision comes as a lawsuit against the Department of Labor proceeds, challenging the administration's attempt to abruptly shut down this vital program. The ruling offers a beacon of hope for thousands of at-risk and low-income youth who rely on Job Corps for skills training, housing, and health care. United States District Judge Andrew L. Carter of the Southern District of New York extended his temporary restraining order by granting a request for this preliminary injunction. This legal action bolsters a temporary restraining order Carter issued earlier in June. That initial order directed the Department of Labor to cease removing Job Corps students from housing, terminating jobs, or otherwise suspending the nationwide program without congressional approval. The judge's intervention temporarily preserves the status quo, ensuring the program continues to operate and protecting the interests of students and staff until a final decision is reached in court. The legal terms temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction are central to this case. A TRO is a short-term court order that prevents a party from taking a specific action for a limited period, often until a hearing for a preliminary injunction can be held. It acts as an immediate stopgap measure. A preliminary injunction, on the other hand, is a court order issued early in a lawsuit that prohibits a party from doing something or requires them to do something during the litigation. In the context of the Job Corps lawsuit, Judge Carter first issued a TRO and then strengthened it with a preliminary injunction. This means the Department of Labor is legally prohibited from removing students, terminating jobs, or otherwise shutting down Job Corps centers without congressional approval while the lawsuit proceeds. The court order explicitly states that the department is enjoined from enforcing, implementing, maintaining, or giving effect to the elimination of the Job Corps program, including stop work orders and termination notices. This legal maneuver ensures that the program, which serves many Black and other marginalized youth, can continue its vital work without immediate disruption. Judge Carter's ruling underscored a fundamental principle of American governance. The executive branch cannot unilaterally dismantle programs created and funded by the legislative branch. The judge reasoned that the Department of Labor's unilateral closing of the program, which was created and authorized by Congress, violated federal law. He stated in his ruling that once Congress has passed legislation stating that a program like the Job Corps must exist and set aside funding for that program, the department is not free to do as it pleases. It is required to enforce the law as intended by Congress. This powerful statement highlights that the program's existence and funding are mandated by Congress, making the department's actions legally contested. The judge explicitly dismissed the department's argument that they were only pausing operations and not closing the centers entirely. Carter cited how the department had gone about executing this pause, noting that the way the department is shuttering operations and the context in which the shuttering is taking place make it clear that the department is actually attempting to close the centers. This judicial clarity protects a program that has been a cornerstone for many Black families seeking pathways to stability and opportunity. Job Corps, founded in 1964, stands as a testament to the nation's commitment to providing opportunities for its most vulnerable youth. This nationwide program aims to help teenagers and young adults who have struggled to finish traditional high school and find jobs. It offers a comprehensive array of services designed to equip low-income youth with the skills necessary to secure employment, enter the military, or pursue higher education. The program provides tuition-free housing at residential centers, vocational training, meals, and health care. While the Department of Labor operates 94 centers, the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Forest Service operates 24 centers, known as Job Corps Civilian Conservation Centers, which focus on natural resource management work experience. Comprehensive studies indicate that Job Corps increases participants' earnings and reduces their future reliance on public assistance. For many Black youth facing systemic barriers, Job Corps has been a crucial pathway to self-sufficiency and a better future. The Department of Labor had announced the closure of 99 Job Corps campuses nationwide, effective by June 30th. The department notified 99 private Job Corps centers across the nation on May 29th that they would cease operations by June 30th. The Labor Department said in late May that it would pause operations at all contractor-operated Job Corps centers by the end of June. The department cited an internal review that concluded the program was costly and had a low success rate. The review also identified safety issues at the residential campuses. However, specific details or data from this internal review, such as the metrics used to determine cost-effectiveness or how success rates were measured, have not been provided. This lack of transparency has been a point of contention, with the Government Accountability Office previously recommending that the department provide greater transparency in communicating its rationale for closure decisions. The National Job Corps Association, in contrast, points to comprehensive studies indicating that Job Corps increases participants' earnings and decreases their future reliance on public assistance, suggesting a different perspective on the program's effectiveness. The National Job Corps Association swiftly responded to the department's announcement by filing a lawsuit and a motion for a temporary restraining order to prevent the closures. The association filed its motion in U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York on June 3, 2025, specifically to stop the department's closure of 99 Job Corps campuses. The lawsuit claimed that the administration's elimination of the program was illegal. It asserted that the action contravenes the statutory provisions governing Job Corps and the department's own regulations concerning the program, and was fundamentally irrational. The legal basis for the lawsuit is the alleged violation of statutory provisions and regulations by the department in its attempt to eliminate the Job Corps program. While the specific statutes and regulations are not explicitly detailed, the judge's ruling in favor of the association indicates that the court found sufficient grounds to believe the department's actions were unlawful. Donna Hay, President and CEO of the National Job Corps Association, stated that Job Corps provides life-changing education and hands-on training to young people looking for a pathway to a better future, and that the closures would have significant economic impact. This legal challenge underscores the importance of checks and balances, especially when programs serving marginalized communities are at stake. The potential closures of Job Corps centers would have a profound and devastating impact on students and the communities where these centers are located. For students, the program provides tuition-free housing, training, meals, and healthcare, which are crucial for low-income youth who have struggled to finish traditional high school. The threat of closure meant students could lose their housing, access to education, and vocational training, potentially disrupting their path to employment or further education. The judge's ruling highlighted the story of a New York Job Corps student listed as a plaintiff in the case, who lives at the Job Corps Center and is currently working to earn a culinary arts certificate. Should the site close, this student would lose all progress towards her degree and will immediately be plunged into homelessness. For communities, the centers represent a source of employment for staff and contribute significantly to the local economy. The program's historical role in helping young adults find jobs and its documented ability to increase participants' earnings and decrease reliance on public assistance suggest that closures would have broad negative effects, particularly on Black communities that often face higher rates of unemployment and housing insecurity. The future of Job Corps centers remains uncertain as the lawsuit continues. If the injunction were to be overturned, the Department of Labor would likely regain the authority to proceed with its plan to pause operations at contractor-operated Job Corps centers. This could lead to the termination of services, removal of students from housing, and job losses for staff, as the department had initially intended to transition students and staff out by the end of June. Such an outcome would create significant uncertainty and disruption for thousands of young people and the communities served by Job Corps. The judge's emphasis on congressional authority raises questions about Congress's role moving forward. Since the program's existence and funding are mandated by Congress, there is an expectation that the legislative body might intervene or revise legislation related to Job Corps. Lawsuits can take years to come to a conclusion, and given that Job Corps has bipartisan support in Congress, there is hope that this provides relief for the thousands of students who are currently working to improve their lives through the program. The ongoing legal battle highlights the critical need for sustained advocacy to protect programs that uplift and empower marginalized youth. Copyright African Elements.